Welcome to Saturdays with Sir Rolland, your weekly training guild on how to slay the dragons of vice with the weapons of virtue. Here's your guild master, the author of the 7 Deadly Dragons book series, and faithful knight to the one true light, Sir Rolland Paterlot.
Greetings, young squires, maidens, moms, and dads. Today's the 31st day in the first month in the year of our Lord 2026, and it's a great day to learn the art of dragon slaying. That sound, young squires, means it's a feast day, and today we celebrate St. John Bosco, a powerful intercessor for dragon slayers everywhere, and especially for those who work with youth. St. John Bosco was a priest who had a special gift for reaching young boys who were often already walking dangerous paths, troubled, orphaned, forgotten, or tempted by dragons. He didn't just preach at them, he welcomed them, taught them, made them laugh with magic tricks, and most importantly, showed them that they were called to become saints. And that is the goal of this podcast, to help you learn the art of dragon slaying so that you can grow into the saint God created you to be. So let's continue our series on one of our favorite dragon slaying weapons, the Holy Rosary. Today we focus on the 4th Luminous Mystery, the Transfiguration. This mystery is special to me because it gave the disciples a glimpse of who Jesus really was before things got dark. It was a moment of light meant to strengthen them for the battles ahead. So let's listen to the story from the Gospel of Matthew. Jesus took Peter, James, and his brother John and led them up a high mountain by themselves. And he was transfigured before them. His face shone like the sun, and his clothes became white as light. And behold, Moses and Elijah appeared to them, conversing with him. Then Peter said to Jesus in reply, "Lord, it is good that we are here. If you wish, I will make 3 tents here, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." While he was still speaking, behold, a bright cloud cast a shadow over them. Then from the cloud came a voice that said, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him." When the disciples heard this, they fell prostrate and were very much afraid. But Jesus came and touched them, saying, "Rise, and do not be afraid." And when the disciples raised their eyes, they saw no one else but Jesus alone. And as they were coming down from the mountain, Jesus charged them, "Do not tell the vision to anyone until the Son of Man has been raised from the dead." Well, there's several key lessons about dragon slaying that the mystery of the Transfiguration teaches us. First, prayer is essential to dragon slaying. The world is noisy, but God often whispers. If we want to hear God's voice and receive his guidance, we must be willing to step away from the distractions and spend time in quiet prayer. Jesus took 3 of his disciples up a high mountain to teach them that prayer lifts us closer to the Father and helps us to hear him clearly. Second, never lose sight of the final victory. Jesus faced the same darkness and dragons we face, but he was also God, and the dragons were no match for him. The Transfiguration was meant to strengthen the disciples for the suffering ahead. When things look dark, when it feels like the dragons are winning, we must remember this moment and hear those words again. Do not be afraid. The light of the resurrection is coming. Third, Jesus fulfills the law and the prophets. Moses and Elijah represents God's law and God's prophets. Their presence reminds us that Jesus is the fulfillment of everything God promised. As Christians, we are blessed to have the Holy Bible, which shows us the full story and teaches us how Jesus completes God's plan for salvation. And finally, this mystery reveals who Jesus really is and who we're called to be. The Father declares Jesus to be his beloved Son, and he is pleased with him. If we follow Jesus and listen to him, the Father is pleased with us as well. This mystery is especially meaningful to me because my earthly father died on August 6th, the feast of the Transfiguration. Every year on that day, I get to hear those words again. This is my beloved Son. As dragon slayers, those words should give us courage and motivate us to fight the battles God places before us. And so now, let's return to our imagination and put ourselves into the story. You're standing in the town square when the Knight of Light approaches you. He isn't wearing his shining armor today, just his simple traveling cloak, dusty boots, and that calm, peaceful look that always makes you feel like everything is going to be okay, even when dragons are nearby. He looks at you, then 2 of your friends. Not everyone, just you 3.
"Come with me. We're going up the mountain."
One of your friends squints at the tall, rocky peak behind the town. How far up? Another asks the important question, "Will there be snacks?" The knight smiles.
Trust me. There will be food there that will last you for a lifetime.
So you go. At first it's fine. You're joking, you're laughing, you're pretending you're already legendary dragon slayers, but then the climb gets steep, the air gets thin, your legs get tired. One of your friends trips over a rock and announces very dramatically that he may never walk again. Another mutters, "Why do we need to climb a mountain? Dragons live down there." The knight keeps walking, steady and calm.
Not everything you need to see can be seen from the valley.
Eventually you reach the top. The wind slows, the noise of the town disappears. It's quiet in a way that makes you feel small but safe. The knight motions for you to sit.
Watch and pray.
At first, nothing happens. One of your friends whispers, "Did we just hike all the way up here to just sit?" And then the sun breaks through the clouds. Not in a normal way. The light seems brighter, warmer. It dances across the stones beneath your feet. You notice the knight's cloak beginning to glow, not suddenly, but slowly, like dawn spreading across the sky. The light grows stronger, and then you see them. Two figures standing beside the knight. One wears dented armor and carries a sword marked by battle. You recognize him immediately. St. George, the great dragon slayer, calm, brave, strong. The other wears a simple habit and holds a cross. His presence is quiet, but powerful. St. Benedict, the master of prayer and discipline, the saint who taught the world how to fight dragons through holiness and order. They don't say anything. They don't need to. And then the knight changes. His simple cloak transforms into radiant armor, brighter than gold, stronger than steel, covered in symbols of the king. The light reflects off him so powerfully that one of your friends shields his eyes. Another drops to his knees. You realize something that makes your heart pound. He isn't just a knight. He is the king's son. A bright cloud rolls in, not dark but glowing, and from the cloud comes a deep voice, loving and powerful.
"This is my beloved son, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him."
The ground trembles. You fall face down, suddenly very aware that you're very small and God is very big. And one of your friends whispers, "I think I'm going to pass out." And then the light fades. The cloud lifts. St. George and St. Benedict are gone. You feel a gentle hand on your shoulder.
Rise. Do not be afraid.
You look up. He's back in his simple cloak again. Just the knight smiling, peaceful. As you make your way down the mountain, everything looks the same as before. The town is still there. The dragons are still out there. Life is still hard. One of your friends finally asked, "Why can't we stay up there?" The knight pauses and looks back at the mountain.
Because the mountain is for seeing, but the valley is for saving.
Then he pauses. His face turns somber.
Soon, things will get dark, and it may appear to your eyes that the dragon has won. But remember what you saw today. Have faith, and believe that in the end, all will be well.
Before you reach the town, he stops you once more.
What you saw today is not for everyone. Not yet. But first, we slay dragons.
And you understand. You won't forget the light. And that is where our story must pause for today. The time of the great battle with the dragon is getting close. This week, as you pray and reflect on the fourth luminous mystery, I want you to think about how amazing it feels to know that your Father in heaven and your Father on earth are proud of you and your dragon-slaying efforts. And so is Sir Rolland Paylott. Let that motivate you to slay any dragons you face this week. And until next week, I'll leave you under the protection of St. Michael the Great Archangel, St. Joseph the Terror of Dragons, and Mary, Queen of the Angels, Our Lady of Grace, and the woman whose seed crushed the head of the dragon.
Hey everybody, Sir Topher here. In the past, I have included individual coloring pages of the 7 Deadly Dragons. Now, you can download the complete collection of the 7 Deadly Dragons coloring pages all in one document, which will make it easier to print and draw. And it's completely free. You can find the download in this week's Training Guild email. And it's also free on our free resources page, which can also be found in those emails. So if you haven't signed up for the Training Guild weekly emails already, go and do that to get your free resources. Now, I absolutely love the image of the Transfiguration, going up the mountain, finding quiet time with Jesus, and listening to him. I like movies. I like films. I know you guys do too. It's like a movie. The Transfiguration is like a movie and a call to adventure. And as we go up the mountain, there we receive direction, clarity, and the strength we need to slay the dragons and live out the battle we're called to fight. But one of my favorite parts of this reflection is that, just like Jesus, we don't stay on the mountain. We're meant to enjoy the mystery and communion with Jesus. Of course, we're supposed to do that. But then we must come down the mountain, join arms of virtue, and join the fight. So I encourage you all, young squires, to find consistent prayer time to go up the mountain and turn your gaze toward the good Father. Spend time with him, get the battle plans, and then come down the mountain and go slay dragons. And until next week, stay holy and slay dragons.